sports fans back again with one more edition from the American Fan 365 from the crib. We are back in the studio, baby. The studio is rounding third, and the next time you see this, we will be back in the studio, and Dave is already ready to go, so we're gonna get locked and loaded. All right, let's try it again. Sept, go live with Dave. There it is. That's pretty quick, Dave. That's pretty quick.
That's right.
That's under 30 seconds. I take it. How are you doing today?
Oh, buddy.
Doing all right. Ready to go? You weren't black for the funeral of the season?
The season's already dead to me, buddy. It's already dead.
We can't be wearing black, Dave. We got look. We're getting to the Super Bowl first, just to get it out the way, so you don't feel some type of way. You know what I mean? I know that, and we'll get to this. I know that I'm still quite chipper because I had no business being here, so I'm elated.
Yeah.
If we would have made it any further, God knew, because He knew I was gonna look, lie, cheat, and steal my way to New Orleans, and I'd have been down there panhandling. But I was going to get into that game one way or another. So it was probably for the best that my Commanders did not make it any further than the championship. But yeah, everything good. How's everything on your end?
Oh man, Josh Allen won the MVP. So we got.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
The worst timeline, but other than that, everything's great.
Well, all right. Well, without further ado, let me go ahead and start our timer here. We can go ahead and get rolling. Super Bowl 59. I can't believe, first off, the word Super Bowl 59, Dave. That's already disgusting to even say out loud. The L. What's next? I guess 60 it'll be L plus 10. So then we'll get back to it'll just be LX. Okay. All right. That's good. The L is weird for me. It's still awkward. I'm still so used to X's and V's and everything else. And
listen, all I know in Super Bowls is L's, so it's fine.
It's tough. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. I know we don't want to be on this very long. So who wins and why? Who do you got?
Well, I want.
And you can't say Bane. Bane is not the answer.
No one to win, but enough in my life, enough losses. I can't choose against Patrick Mahomes, so I guess they'll win. I know who's really winning, me, by not watching a second of this game.
You're not gonna watch any of it, Dave?
Not a little bit. I'll watch half.
Okay, all right. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10. Do you hate the Cowboys for what they did to your Bills, or do you hate the Chiefs more for what they've done to your Bills now more as an adult? Who do you hate more?
Ooh, wow. That's a real Sophie's choice right there. I'm going to go off the board and take the Giants, who stole the only Super Bowl the Bills should have actually won, Super Bowl 25, because that still makes no sense.
Yeah, well, do you feel like at that point though you guys still weren't ready? I think that was probably the thing.
Jeff Hostetler.
It is Jeff Hostetler. It was Whitney Houston. You know what I mean?
Oh,
but well, I guess the reason I say that you guys weren't ready, the most of that Giants team had still won a title before. You still had Lawrence Taylor. You still had some of the receivers. You know what I mean? Like, it was still the coach, obviously.
So, because that team never would have made it.
What's that? Say again?
I said, thank God for them there was no drug testing, because hello, LT, you never would have been the Super Bowl.
Drug testing? They didn't even have tests for those drugs at that point. It was just your high. they didn't even know how to put something on that. But so you got the Chiefs. I'm obviously I'm pulling for the Chiefs. I'm using all my Jesus points I got right now. We can't.
I'm not pulling for the Chiefs.
No. I said you got the Chiefs. I didn't say you were pulling. I said I'm pulling for the Chiefs. I didn't put that on you.
Yeah, I'm pulling for the meteor to hit the earth. We need it anyway for so many other reasons, but
oh my goodness.
For anyone.
Do you have any particular reason why you think just like Mahomes?
That's it.
Okay.
Mahomes, Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo. It's just the organizational knowledge. I mean, if you look, who has the better quarterback? Who has the better coach?
Yeah.
Who has the better defensive coordinator? That one's the closest.
Yes. 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 That's fair. For me, it's going to be coaching. You've given that team not only a chance to get rest, but then also an opportunity to really scout you. The reason they beat them on that play the last time was because they knew in certain looks that this is what this team is going to
Right.
do. They run a motion action, then he immediately doubles back. There's nobody there. Touchdown, we win the Super Bowl. Like it's the little stuff like that I think will bear out. I think that it will be close again. I think the Chiefs will be down again, and I think that they're just going to do what they do. I actually say that I feel like the Chiefs are going to be down 4 with 3 minutes somewhere in there, and they go down to score the touchdown. The Eagles don't do enough to kick the field goal to send it in overtime. That's my feeling pretty
Yeah.
good.
I mean, the only opposite to that is just Saquon has been the best player in football this year. So
Yeah. Yeah.
if someone plays a Saquon game, it won't matter.
Yeah, listen, that Saquon. I feel like Saquon and AJ Brown are the keys for the
See,
Eagles. If the Chiefs can at least limit Saquon a little bit, the Eagles might struggle. That's my
I
main thing.
don't think the second player is AJ Brown. I think it's Jalen Carter.
Okay, okay, okay.
He's
Fair
terrifying.
enough.
So I mean, if Jalen Carter has a great game, then it just might not matter.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Any particular? Have you looked at any props for this? I know I'm trying to get you out of here.
Trying
Have
to
you looked at any props?
get any props. The props of how many minutes I'm going to watch this game. 0.
What's the
Oh,
over under? What's the over under right now, Dave? The over under is 5 minutes.
oh God.
You taking the under.
Take the over under at half a minute. And by the way, get under. Now,
Oh my god, that's too
make
funny.
sure I don't miss any second of Kendrick.
Okay.
I'm not missing a second of Kendrick. So I might watch a minute of this game.
Okay. Just to get you in line to be ready for
Yeah, I'm
halftime.
not.
Okay. All right. Well, I have a few. I looked up a few yesterday when we were talking about this. So AJ Brown or Travis Kelce, 25 yards in each half. I thought that was interesting. AJ Brown is plus 115. Travis Kelce is plus 140. That's 50 yards in the game. If you're saying that either of those guys is going to get off, 25 yards a half isn't crazy. Um, Travis Kelce, a catch in each quarter is plus 190.
I mean, don't you think Travis Kelce did his girl wrong?
What did he do to his girl?
Well, I mean, being honored to play in front of somebody that's said terrible things about your girlfriend.
Who said things about Taylor
Uh,
Swift?
Somebody that
Oh,
half the
you talking about Trump?
yeah.
Trump? Oh, okay.
Come on, Travis,
Listen,
you're
they,
better.
they, they speak out of both sides of their face. I don't even pay attention to that stuff. Patrick Mahomes, 25 yards passing in each quarter. Count your money.
Once
Count
again,
your money.
Travis Kelce didn't go. Travis Kelce didn't go crazy. He went white. He whitened up that answer. Oh,
Oh my God. And then finally, Saquon Barkley, 10 yards rushing in each quarter. What?
I said you never want to run away from an answer I had so fast that was
I'm moving forward. I'm not even.
very smart.
All right, and then this is your opportunity. Put a bow on your Bills season.
Not enough help.
Okay.
I mean, but you have to remember, as much as this will sound like an excuse, this was supposed to be the season that somebody in the AFC East was going to catch them. This was the catch up on salary cap season. This is let a lot of player go season.
Catch the Bills. Catch the Bills. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this season they weren't supposed to be contending. So I mean,
Yep.
the right there.
Remember also there were calls for McDermott's job last year, so I feel like he did a good job.
I he saved his job, but I'm still not in love with Sean McDermott. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Really, really, even after all this.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Well, to put a bow on my season, because we're the two last losers before the last loser. For me, obviously fantastic. You know what I mean? We were rated to win between 4 and 6.5 games. We won 12. And then we end up winning another two to get to the championship game, to get to the Super Bowl. I feel like we found our quarterback. I'm
Oh,
elated for that. You know
you,
what I mean? I mean, listen, he played better than I could have ever imagined. We had the highest scoring team ever to have a rookie quarterback. I think we averaged 28.5 a game. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like we had a great year, and the most exciting part for me is that we keep Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury doesn't walk out the door. We get a second year with him to continue to keep growing Jaden. I think that more than almost anything else that happens, a second year in that system, a second year to continue to to evolve things, get them bigger. That's the biggest thing for me. So I'm excited. You know what I mean? Obviously, we got work to do to keep building the roster, but that's what that's what the offseason's for. That's what the draft and free agency's for. So I'm excited. I can't be
can I
happier.
make one quick Super Bowl point?
Yeah.
Isn't this for like every other case the worst possible matchup? Like, who really wants to see this outside of
Well, uh,
who?
I'll say this. I'll say this. So these two teams. So Philly wants to see it because they get an opportunity for revenge. Obviously, this exact matchup.
Fan bases? Who wants?
Well, no. But I mean, but within those two fan bases, it makes sense for Philly
Yes,
because they get a chance for
sure.
revenge. You know what I'm saying? For the Eagles, you know what I'm saying? Not for the Eagles, excuse me, for the Chiefs, I don't really, they're just happy to, like, they're the first team to ever have the opportunity to even get
Who
a
else?
three-peat. Everyone else has gotten to the conference championship and lost.
Who else? I mean, the officials don't make enough of the viewing public to really man the people watching the Super Bowl. So, who's really looking for this Super Bowl?
Yeah, that's
In the
fair.
words,
That's fair.
okay, I'll wait. I'll wait to see what fan base wants to see this. I'm going to tell you, a lot more people are going to go the me route for this and not watch this because nobody wants this. Nobody wanted this less.
I'll say this, the ticket prices plummeted once these two teams went, once they
Uh,
both won, the prices bottomed out in New Orleans. So that definitely does give some credence to your point. You know what I'm saying? So it's not as crazy as
I
you
mean,
think.
somebody else
But
has to drive those ticket prices down too, but that's only my opinion. Anyway,
moving on, moving on, switching gears around the world in sports, we will talk about that particular gentleman shortly. We go ahead and start the clock here. Up first, transgender ban comes from the Oval Office, and then the NCAA scoops up the fumble, and they just keep taking the ball down the field. Um, listen, I look. I feel like a lot of people, you know what I mean? A lot of people, you want to be inclusive, you want to love people, you want to, you know what I mean? Listen, I don't have any problem with any trans people. Um, at the same time, um, I guess maybe in certain sports, in certain arenas, I don't feel like it's fair to have a male, or maybe there's stipulations. I don't know. I'm not the right person to say, but to mandate it, I feel like that was the part that might be wrong. To just say everybody, it's a blanket statement and get them all out. I feel like that was a little bit heavy-handed for me, anyway. What are your feelings?
well, first off, it's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. It's a talking point for stupid people. It's the all-time let's pin something on something that doesn't even exist. Do you understand the amount of testing that has to go on? The amount of like levels in your body that these things have to come to? we're acting like the best female athletes in the world were born assigned male. That's not even close to the case. It's so beyond ridiculous. Everybody's flying behind something because you know what? It appeals to stupid, small-minded people. So congratulations, you got what you want. It's such a minuscule fraction. So guess what? What's next? Guess what?
I mean, well, look, what's next is we're well, I would say I'll say Dave, what's next is we definitely have to put the South Park clip with Macho Man doing his best trans situation.
Well, black people, slaves were bred together to have superior people athletically. So I guess we can't compete against them too. It's the dumbest thing ever. It's the biggest non-point in the history of non-points. It is so ridiculous. Like you're acting like Serena Williams was trans. You're acting like Simone Biles.
Yeah.
Nothing anywhere close to that has ever happened. So stop. Everybody that looks like me, just stop. This is not a thing. It's a made fake story.
Yeah.
Like Katie Ledecky won trans. Katie Ledecky was a woman. She just dusted
it. And she was killing everybody.
Yeah. So
ever.
It's the all-time dumbest topic to distract away from terrible things that happen to marginalized people anyway. This is so beyond ridiculous. I hate that we had to waste any time talking about it because it's a shiny thing for stupid people. So congratulations, dummies. You got what you wanted. Guess you know what else what you're not getting? Your welfare Social Security checks. So congratulations.
Congrats. Switching gears over. Goodbye, Jake Paul. Hello, Bud Crawford. Canelo is not going to be fighting Jake Paul. He's actually going to be fighting Bud Crawford. I believe it was September 13th is what they're looking at for the date. How excited are you for that fight? I mean, Terrence is, more in the 140 range, and Canelo's gone all the way up to light heavyweight. So, I mean, if I'm Bud Crawford, we got to fight at my weight. So I need Canelo to get all the way down to like 138.
But see,
and that's the only way I'm taking this fight.
The problem for that is this. For Bud, there's no smaller left to fight. There's nobody his weight left to fight.
Yeah.
The only way to cement his legacy is to go up at least somewhat in weight. I mean, you not fight it like cruiserweight or some craziness or light heavyweight, but like he's gonna have to go up in weights to fight Canelo because Canelo's. I love Bud. Bud's a better boxer. Canelo's the bigger star.
Yeah.
So you have to go to Canelo. Canelo don't have to come to you. And Canelo played it smart. He used one of the Paul brothers against the Saudis because as stupid of a fight as that would have been, because Canelo would have murdered Jake Paul, murdered him.
Yeah.
He used that. So the Saudis came back and said, "Oh, Canelo, 4-fight deal, however much you want. You choose your opponents, done and done." He got exactly what he wanted. And at the end of the day, Bud gets what he wants too, because this means more to Bud's legacy than any other fight would.
Yeah. Yeah. Could you imagine if Terrence Crawford beat Canelo? That would be crazy.
Then all bets are off. Then we're legitimately talking like you challenge the Floyds and the top boxers ever.
Yeah.
Because if he goes up to that weight where Canelo's at now, because that's a huge leap for him. If he beats, which by the way, I truly believe he can, Bud is an all-timer.
Yeah.
Might be
like legitimately then, because he's fought everyone. He's fought everybody that was in his way, outside of, Floyd, but Floyd was at the end of his rope at that point too.
Listen, I'll tell you, Floyd, the second of February would have fought Bud Crawford. That's not all. That's like if like Sugar Ray would have fought Bud. I mean, too old to fight him. It's discussion. You don't fight a killer like that.
Yeah.
I made correct by the Spence fight when that went even crazier than I thought it would go. The great fighter, and he dominated.
He went to work. work,
Listen,
seriously.
when
But we
I got off
can't.
the fast start, that was all she wrote. I was like, if Bud's gonna start like this
Yeah, 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 for sure, for sure. Well, we can't talk about any fighting without talking about UFC 312 tonight, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in Australia. Um, and I only have a few questions because the card was just it's kind of all right. Does Sean Strickland lose? Is he able to regain his belt? Is Duplessis able to keep the belt? And does Sean Strickland have to keep saying all these things? Calling Australians the poor white trash of England and inciting that country. Does he have to say these things? Like Sean Strickland, like I've met you, I know you're a friendly guy. You don't have to say these things that are so incendiary. I'm
I
just saying.
feel like he feels he does need to because he's not an all-time great fighter, and
Hmm.
this is what gets you attention. This is the Dana Whiting of the world. This is what he wants. He wants people saying stupid stuff because the biggest thing that he needs is he needs to always be the biggest star in the UFC. So he can point in saying these people are dumb, but he holds them under his grip all the time. The only fighter that got us was Connor. That was it.
Yeah.
And Connor balked at that. So, yeah, they love it. Like, people are acting like they don't love people saying racist or incendiary or hateful stuff. This is what they're built on. Sadly, look at most of the fan base. This is what you want. So,
Yeah, that's kind of where the sport's going, huh? Are there any other fights outside of the Zhang Weili fight that you're interested in or excited for?
I got to tell you, I looked up and down the card. I mean, that one, the Tafa fight, the size difference is intriguing because, I mean, there's never been a bigger size difference in the same weight division. It's like 6 inches of height and 9 inches of
Yeah,
reach. It's crazy. But outside of the novelty of that, but one of the things I was saying to you before is this is usually when they pull out a card that's like it's no good fights and nothing you wanted to see, but then you just have everybody swing for the fences and everybody's looking for like KO of the night or
yeah.
submission.
Well, it's I will say it's easier to stand out. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not fighting against so many other known killers. Like it's me versus me, really. So yeah, go out there and get you a win. For me, is can Jimmy Crute return? Jimmy Crute hasn't been right since Jamal knocked him out. 2 years ago. He still hasn't really recovered. And so him being home, he's from Australia. Like is he able to kind of restart his ascension up to light heavyweight ranks? That's the only other fight that I'm interested in watching. Other than that, like you said, it's kind of a snooze
It, it
fest.
it's
Um,
because they've made it this way. I mean, look at it this way: somebody that we all were interested in their fights is Izzy Wash now. Like, who are the stars anymore? Izzy's
yeah,
lost 5 fights.
bro. Bro, what have I said? I've said this the last couple of times when we've talked about UFC. Like they don't have stars, and everyone keeps saying, "Oh yeah." Like to fight fans know they can look at this card and be like, "Oh, that's so and so, that's so and so." To regular people, bro, we don't know their people. One, because 90% of their champions don't speak English or don't speak English well, so they can't really sell the fights. So you don't really know the people that well. But like yeah, there's not a lot of name recognition at this point. I've said that many times.
Listen, it's at some point the Dana "I'm the biggest star" method is going to come crashing down because it has to. And
Mm.
guess what? We're gonna get tired. People, the casual fight fan is gonna get confused by is it this guy from Dagestan or this guy from Dagestan?
Who doesn't speak English?
Yeah,
Who doesn't speak English?
yeah. And
Is he related to Habib or is he just trained by Habib? Like we're trying to figure it out.
but again, unless you're a super fight fan, these guys also, for the most part, don't put on the most exciting fights for the casual viewer.
Yeah,
If you're educated and you like a ground-based fight, they're great fighters.
yeah,
If
100%.
the fight is boring, which is most anybody that watches these fights, and eventually, unfortunately, a lot of the fan base that they're courting is going to start saying racist, anti-Muslim stuff to these
Yeah,
guys, and it's going to dry up. So
Yep.
let's see.
100%. All right, switching gears, we're going to close it out with the NBA trade deadline. Dave has been getting his juices ready for this, so he's excited. All right, let's go ahead and get in. I'm giving us a solid 10 minutes on the clock.
Let's go.
Can we keep it to 10? When the buzzer sounds, we're shutting down the show. So I gotta get us in and out. So trade deadline, we're not talking about every trade. That's first and foremost. But we got to start with Luka Doncic being traded to the LA Lakers for Anthony Mr. Glass Davis and a bag of chips. In any world does this make sense? Did this trade make any sense in any world to you?
It makes sense when you consider some of the conspiracy. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but the Dallas to Vegas conspiracy is starting to look a lot better. So in that lens, makes a lot more sense. But no, it makes no sense. Luka Doncic is the type of player. The reason guys like this don't get traded because they never have been traded.
Not 25 and in your prime. No, I can't think. Not without like some kind of situations. Some issues.
Here, he has been hurt most of this year, so he won't be first team All NBA. His rookie team, he wasn't first team All NBA. Every other season, he's first team All NBA. This is you don't trade this man.
And look, and for those of you that haven't followed since we were a part of another show, Dave has been on the Luka train since literally the beginning.
No more. Every all complained about this man. I'm there. Play White James Harden, all of it. I'm there for all of it. Bring it all, I want it all. He deserves it all.
All right, all right, Dave. What's a new nickname for the LeBron Luka connection in LA for you?
Unwatchable.
That's the nickname?
Sure.
I hate you so much. All right. I got it. I thought about it. Henceforth, they will be called LL Cool Trey. Nothing? You got nothing? I hate you so much. Moving forward, Jimmy Butler. He has cried, whined, and pouted his way out of Miami. He said he wasn't going to sign a new deal with the Warriors. He gets traded to the Warriors, signs said new deal. I mean, I saw a meme. I actually have to post this meme where it was this old white guy, and he had on like a red checkered shirt, and he opened up a new Christmas present, and it was the exact same red shirt, and he was like smiling, and it was like, this is the Warriors before and after the Anthony Davis, the Jimmy Butler deal, and it's like, I don't know really what you're getting. I think if this is Jimmy, if they get playoff Jimmy, they're decent.
Oh, they're getting it for at least this year, 100%.
Okay, all right. You think it could work?
If we're going into the meme world, we're going into that like obscure Netflix I Think You Should Leave show where he's in the hot dog outfit where it's like, we need to find out who did this. And every time Jimmy, I can't believe he is the first player that ever made me be pro team on a dispute.
Yeah.
Because when it happens everywhere you are, it's you.
At some point, you're the common denominator, right? At some point. It can't always be everyone else.
Ruined Miami.
Yeah.
Philly.
He honestly,
because it was against Ben Simmons.
Well,
he was
Philly. Philly made the mistake. Philly, I kind of am still with Jimmy because Jimmy played well. Joel Embiid loved him.
It was right.
And they went with Tobias Harris. Remember Tobias Harris over me? They went with Tobias Harris. That was a mistake.
Tobias Harris took the fall. They went with Ben Simmons over him.
True. But remember Ben Simmons was still under contract at that point. They like Ben wasn't going nowhere.
Still Ben Simmons at that point too.
That's fair. In Minnesota, you know what I'm saying? He beat
right, but still kind of right on that one too.
Okay. Chicago. his way out of Chicago. Like, yeah, at some point, Jimmy, I don't know.
He still had a lot of accuracy on his side. But the thing is, he ruined Miami because he murdered his trade value. And he ruined, not that Phoenix wasn't already ruined because they're already ruined, but he extra ruined Phoenix by getting Kevin Durant and all this too. So they're murdered. He murdered a franchise he never even played for.
And then, you know, I know we're going to talk about some of these other deals too. My biggest thing from the trade deadline is, why do so many people make trades for no reason? Like they make the trade that it goes nowhere. It does nothing for your team. It doesn't help you. I think one of the biggest, I was talking to somebody about a week ago, one of my biggest concerns too with the NBA is, like, you have to know advanced trigonometry to really understand the salary cap and all these trade pick swaps and, you know, all that stuff. Like, the casual fan, like, remember when we were younger, it was like A to B. Like, oh, you traded him, you get this. Now it's like, oh yeah, we're trading cash and trade exemptions and all. Like, it's so much advanced stuff. The NBA's got to, like, kind of start doing away with, like, all that advanced stuff. The casual fan can't follow it.
But part of the problem is the CBA the players agreed to. It's certainly better for the rank and file players, I believe. It's worse for the stars to push their weight around because of the second apron. So it's you to push yourself to where you want to go anymore, because that doesn't work. The math doesn't work anymore. That's part one. Part two, a lot of this, it's like the country we live in now. Everything's smoke and mirrors. Everything's like 6 seconds and 3. So it looks like you did a lot when you really did. When you look at the projections and you did nothing. Like Phoenix made that whole deal. They gave up one of their future picks, so they could give away a future pick outright, which they might be terrible by that point.
Yeah.
They are taking 3 of the worst picks you can possibly have, because it's like all the back end of 3-team trades, and the other teams are like Oklahoma City, Denver, like
none of these picks are worth anything.
And like I said, how often do you have second-round picks that are good? For God's sake, the worst NBA player of all time was picked in the second round, LeBron James Jr.
Yeah, had to get a brownie shot in there. Well, keeping it on the.
Josh,
go ahead.
Thing up to you. Do you know, as of the other day? So for all the basketball fans out there, and you know what? If you hate this, direct everything to me. I don't care. 4,404 players had taken 20 or more field goal attempts in their career. It's a lot of people, right?
Yep.
One player was significantly the worst field goal percentage of 4,004 players. 4,404 players, excuse me.
Yeah.
It was LeBron James Jr. at 9.1% from the field.
That's his percentage? That's crazy.
And everybody else was in black and white photos.
I'm so dumb with you.
And let's emphasize the white part of that black and white too.
These were before the plumbers that they say Jordan was playing. This was against insurance agents and real estate agents that were out there that were playing NBA games on the weekend.
George Mikan and Dolph Shays give these guys that work. That's worse than.
Hey, listen, I ain't gonna have you betraying Dolph Shays. That was one of my favorite Hall of Famers when I worked at the Hall of Fame. But we gotta go ahead and we got 3 more trades to get to before we get out of here. The Lakers, Dave, they followed the NBA rule of you can't have too many white boy killers on the same team. So you trade for Luka. That means, you know, Dalton or Austin Reeves. One of them got to go. So they traded Dalton Connect to Charlotte. Wait, what?
Now get Austin Reeves, the 31 pick, and pick swaps. Nico Harrison's terrible at his job. He's awful at his job.
And then Brandon Ingram gets traded. He traded the sadness of New Orleans for the cold and sadness of Toronto. It's tough.
Gosh, quick question. And I know you love Toronto, and I love Canada.
Yeah.
When is Masai's statute of limitations up on him being trash for every year since then?
You know what? I saw something the other day that was saying that basically the picks that he traded were the picks that he got for the Pascal Siakam deal. And so basically, if you look at it from the standpoint of like Pascal for Brandon Ingram, wasn't a bad deal.
Brandon Ingram's worse than Pascal Siakam.
Listen, when I saw that, I looked at Pascal's numbers and I was like, oh, Pascal's still doing pretty well. He's just in Indiana and nobody talks about him, but he's still averaging like 20 and 8. He's not the problem.
Let's not kid ourselves. Masai is living on the all-time heat check.
Well, remember too, Glenn Grunwald, same way. Glenn was there, so Glenn was there and brought Jerome in, and then Glenn traded. He traded Jerome, he traded Vince. He kind of ran on some runway too before he went on and was with the Knicks.
Vince forced.
So
let's not let Vince off the hook for that. Vince forced that. Vince quit on.
Oh yeah, no, that was and honestly, look, listen, if we're able to ever have Vince on this show, those are some of the things I definitely want to talk to him about because, there was the whole Vince Carter stuff and, my thing was because, I had to live through that. And this was the era when, Vince he'd strain his calf, he'd be done for 3 weeks, and then, he'd play a game before the All-Star break, and then the All-Star game, he'd doing 360s, and then All-Star break over, he right back to his strained calf, and it was like, Vince, what's good, brother? Like, I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, but it really hindered him because he's now in the Hall of Fame, and the Nets and Raptors retired his number.
And fair. I think fair. Definitely the Raptors. The Nets they didn't do much. Like, I felt like that team probably should have done more, and they never really did.
And have some pride. I mean, I guess it's where Aubrey's from, so I mean, I guess you just roll over for everybody. But
he's definitely a Raptor retired number, not a question.
The way he did them shouldn't have been.
No. Vince Carter was Canada. He was basketball. No other way to say it.
For him to get his number retired there, he should have had to issue the entire country an apology.
Well, hey, listen, those tears were real. He was crying when they announced that he was going to have his jersey retired. Like,
probably because he was laughing so hard he was crying. He's like, I can't believe
No. I'm not. Vince is still my boy. I'm not gonna let you do that. He's a good man. But I do like there are questions as a fan that I would want to ask him for sure.
He is the best player in the history of the franchise.
Yeah.
I know. Kawhi got him a title, but Kawhi was there 1 year. He's the best player in the history of the franchise. I'm not saying that, but he flat out quit on that franchise.
Yeah, I want to know why. We got to get Vince on the show. I'll work on that. I'll work on that. Next time I see him, I gotta get his information. But
swear that Toronto's the greatest city.
It was. I can't speak for it now. Like over the last, I'd say 15 years, that city's changed a lot. When Jerome was there, it was like, let me see. Let me kind of put like a American feel to it. It was like, imagine like New York City in the Midwest. Like it was a very homey feel, but a big city. Now it's just a big city. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference, I'd say, for Toronto.
Let me put it this way. The man forced his way out of Toronto, a great metropolitan city, the entire world, to go to New Jersey. New Jersey is trash.
Oh, my God. Dave's coming with the smoke today.
New Jersey is trash. At me if you want to. New Jersey is trash. It's a trash.
Listen, I'm not gonna have you besmirching the Garden State. New Jersey's not that bad. They pump their gas. They pump your gas for you. Like I ain't got no beef with New Jersey.
Yeah, they
is this one
too. Portland's way better.
You said Portland better than New Jersey
by a million miles.
Hey, we could talk about this off air. Did you know that Portland, the reason that Portland had that big drug problem was because they approved all drugs? Did you know that?
That was a mistake.
Look, someone told me that, and I was like, oh, that's got to be lying. And I looked it up, and it was like, yeah, we approved like cocaine, meth, everything. I was like, what?
Hey, Josh, you know what? Nobody's perfect.
I hate you. We gotta get out. All right, so last trade. DeAaron Fox. DeAaron Fox goes to the Spurs. Zach LaVine gets out of Chicago, and he's in Sac now. And then everyone else got snout basically in that deal. There was nothing else. DeAaron Fox already made his announcement to San Antonio with the game winner last night. Do you think the Spurs
winner got struck? Mm-hmm. They took the game winner away. They lost that game.
No,
yes. They took it away.
How'd they take it away? And the ball was out before the light came on.
Not according to the officials.
Oh, that's trash. Okay, well, either way, do you feel like the Spurs now with De'Aaron Fox are an actual threat?
Plus deal. A plus deal. They gave away nothing.
Yeah, legit.
A young core they kept.
Legit. That's
they
true.
Didn't even give away that beautiful Atlanta pick they have coming this year.
and it's unprotected?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
Monte Murray.
Oh, that's a great draft. That's a great trade. Wow, I didn't realize that.
Party relations, unprotected.
Wow, I didn't realize they had an unprotected pick on the Murray deal. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus. Well,
what if they get?
Yeah. So
what if they get Cooper Flag?
No, we're not saying these things. My Wizards, we didn't even talk about my Wizards. My Wizards made like a lot of trades as if we're a playoff team. And I'm like, whatever you do, buy all these dudes out.
I'm telling you one thing. Do not ruin the main event himself by taking him to your trash franchise. You'll ruin him.
Why the Wizards aren't a trash franchise? We're just a trash team.
Josh, what makes the Wizards a good franchise? Give me one example.
Ted Leonsis is a good owner. He's a good owner.
For hockey.
Hey, listen.
Basketball.
Listen. Ted Leonsis is turned. You don't know what the metropolitan area looked like before Ted Leonsis. I met him when he was a jolly fat man. He's a good dude. Ted Leonsis is a good owner.
Josh.
I won't have you besmirching Ted Leonsis' good name.
Terrible basketball owner. Josh, come on now.
No. He's hired horrible GMs. We've hired great GMs for hockey. We've hired horrible GMs for basketball. That's the difference.
Your franchise is trash.
So you have to take a parting shot before we get out of here. Please make sure you like. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the American Fan 365. We are back in studio soon. Hopefully this coming week. We'll be talking about Super Bowl and probably NBA All-Star Weekend, which they wouldn't even care. I didn't even realize it was this week.
Talking about All-Star.
Will we? But excited for what's coming. You know, obviously we've got we've got the Jersey Jam coming up in about a month, so I gotta prepare for that. I need to get a sponsorship for that, so we're working on all levels for that. But excited to see what's coming next.
It's NBA time. A lot of action.
Your Aces have traded away a lot of their core. I'll say that.
Yeah, but I mean, 2 words. Jewel Lloyd.
Bye, Kelce Plum. We'll see you guys next time.